because of the clash of civilization. Another civilization wants to attack us because we are a certain civilization. I haven't bought into that. But there is some religious problems in the world that helps contribute to this, and there's a foreign policy problem that contributes to it. But I do believe that there is a real clash and an argument between radical Muslim fundamentalists in contrast to secular Muslims. It just happens that we as a nation have allied ourselves with secular Muslims, imposed our will by propping up these puppet governments in the Middle East, antagonizing and actually giving motivation to the radicalism that wants to come here to kill us. But why should that be so strange? What if somebody came over here that looked differently than us, had different religious and different values, and put an air base on our land and imposed their will? The one good thing that would come of that is this whole country would be totally unified because we would resent the enforcement, the occupation of any foreign power on our land. Civilization advances when you have less power in government. The more power you have in government, the more they resort to the ancient tradition of the warrior spirit. The warrior spirit where everything is gained by going out and robbing and killing and plundering. And today it's a little bit different. They plunder through inflating the currency and taxation, but it's still plundering, but it's power in the hands of government. We had an example, a beautiful example of minimal power in our government, and then we had maximum productivity and maximum wealth. But today we think too much of the wealth and believe that government provides this, rather than understanding that wealth and prosperity comes from freedom and productivity and not from the government. One other thing that we have done to help contribute to the loss of our republic has been this notion that we should give up some of our liberties to be safe and secure. There is absolutely never a reason to give up 1 ounce of freedom for the sake of security. It won't work. Besides our flawed foreign policy, there were a few other problems that contributed to 9/11. One was our lack of clear understanding of how the Second Amendment is supposed to work. And once again, even before 9/11, it was assumed the government would take care of us and be safe. They were in charge of airport security, and they after some hijacking in the 70s, we were all taught one thing you never do is resist anybody that wants to take over an airplane, and certainly the airlines wouldn't be allowed to have guns on the airplane. That would be terrible. But we have companies in this country still today. These companies are armored cars, and they carry money around, and they have guns, and they do a pretty good job protecting their cargo. But we were handicapped in this country because we were dependent on the government, and our cargo, our passengers, weren't protected as they should have been. They said that, no, they're too dangerous, but can you imagine what 4 airplanes involved? Maybe 4 guns, or just the knowledge that the guns were there might have prevented the whole thing. There have been some serious consequences of our lack of respect and our loss of liberty and lack of concern and defense of our republic, and we're suffering the consequences. This is what we're talking about. How can we reverse this trend? I think we have to understand how it happened, what the problems were, and what we have to aim for. But we've had a lot of problems because of this. Number one, economic problems, because they do not understand the Constitution and economics understood something about inflation. The runaway inflation of the continental dollar was devastating to the economy. So